One of the first things to look for within yourself when you might need to do some deep shadow work that I found is cyclical patterns. Toxic cycles in your life that you may be going through, taking yourself through with other people, other toxic relationships, people that you need to get rid of out of your life, but you keep going through the same pattern with them. And the pattern becomes kind of like a part of you, and it brings out the worst in you. It's like you're on a battlefield with the person rather than love. It's like you're at war with the person, and you can't seem to get away from it. It's like you're attached to it. It's like the toxic behavior has become a part of you. That's one sign. So toxic life cycles and toxic relationships that you could be subconsciously holding on to is a clear sign that you need to do some shadow work. Another sign that we might need to do some shadow work, for real, this is a good one, is unhealthy escapism. Drinking, smoking, anything to deflect you from getting to the inner work that you need to do to get past the reality that you're creating for yourself, because you need to find the strength to create a new one. So when you're dealing with shadow work, you're dealing with the negative side of self. You know what I'm saying? So let's quickly talk about some benefits of doing that. You can control your emotional reactivity, become more self-aware, attract better relationships, and have a better relationship with yourself. Be able to have more confidence because you're impressing your subconscious mind, proving to yourself that you can trust yourself. That is a great self-driven skill that you need in life. A helicopter up there coming in the video. Another sign that we might need to do some shadow work: not being able to control our emotions, having emotional outbursts. Everybody else is the issue, not us. Not being able to take accountability, having emotional outbursts that we cannot control, being easily emotionally baited. This is a clear sign that we need to do some shadow work, some deep subconscious mind shadow work, because at that point we become slaves. We become slaves to what other people think, gaslighting and triggers. Okay, so let's keep an eye out on that. Keep an eye out on having these emotional, uncontrollable moments because of what somebody said, because of maybe how they said it, something that you could have watched and you're projecting out onto people. Just uncontrollable emotional reactivity is a clear sign that we need to do some shadow work. I know this from experience. But when this is good, I talk about this in my book. Lack of direction or having purpose. Not knowing who we are to the core of us, which probably could be the core part of the problem. Us not knowing who we are, us not understanding what we need to do, us not understanding what God wants us to do, which would mean we don't understand the God within us. Another sign that could be a complexity of self is the avoidance of the negative, meaning that you're accepting who you are as who you are because you haven't properly defined who you truly are. So the false sense of self you're accepting because you're avoiding your more higher self, because you're accepting your more negative self. The avoidance to embracing the negative because you're avoiding finding a higher place within self and sitting at the seat of your own soul. So what you do is deflect that, and then you embrace the lower self, to create an illusion that is truly you, when it's really not. But that's a sign of shadow work. That's probably one of the most intimidating things for people to do when it comes to self-work, because they don't want to really truly know who they are because of the work that they have to do to find it. Because the work that you have to do to find it might cause you some pain, some hurt, This finds you the emotional traumas that you had to bury deep into your subconscious mind that you got to go back to and relive. You got, got to break these generational curses. You got to deal with yourself on all these different type of levels, on the social level, on the spiritual level, on the emotional level, on the environmental level. And you're just like, this is just too much work for me. I'm going to just drown myself in this bottle, or smoke this blunt, or pop these pills. You know what I'm saying? So the true bravery is in looking deep inside of yourself through the subconscious mind shadow work, targeting those things and facing them head on. Me personally, I'm going through some stuff within me now that I have to constantly do shadow work even more. I do shadow work every day. People that's on the self-discovery journey and the healing journey, we do shadow work every day, but I've been having to go deeper within myself, understanding the decisions that I'm making moving forward, making sure that that's restoring, regenerating, and supporting my purpose and my vision. Okay, just because everything might seem like the right thing to do, we still have to make sure we're making the right conscious decisions that aligns with what God wants us to do and what our purpose is, our soul purpose in life. So I hope this helped. It's definitely helped me talking to y'all. So peace and wellness to the family.